well, the wife is supposed to honor the husband. True. But this verse says the husband honors the wife. So you see, you say the wife is supposed to submit to the husband. True. But we are all to submit to one another. The husband will submit to the wife. She has so many insights, so much knowledge that he will take into his soul and be glad to follow your wisdom, your
I have another question for you. And so, what should a Christian do if maybe they have challenges in marriage? Okay, divorce is now out of the equation. There is no divorce. What should a Christian woman or man out there do if maybe they have a lot of problems in their marriages?
The first choice we must follow is, what is my role in this marriage? We might look at the other spouse and we might see he's got problems, she's got problems, but don't start there. Say, what are my responsibilities in this relationship? Start with yourself. You can't change your spouse, but you can change yourself. And Ephesians chapter 5 tells us about husbands. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. There's even the story in the Old Testament, I believe, the prophet Hosea, right? Was married for the purpose of a picture God was teaching, but yet he shows us a man who was faithful to a wife who went astray. And a man can make that choice. I will love my wife. Maybe she may even go off for some time. I will stay faithful to her. I will hold the door open for her return. I will love her as Christ loved the church. Haven't we all gone astray from Christ? Right? And doesn't he open the door for us to return through his own forgiveness? So husbands, love your wives. And then women, in Ephesians chapter 5, tells us about women are to, verse 33, nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Reverence means to give him honor, to make it easy for him to lead you. Your husband may be very difficult, and you may feel like, oh, he's so hard. He's never kind. He's not gentle. He just lifts his voice. He threatens me. Well, your role in that is not to talk back in that way. In fact, Proverbs says a soft answer turns away wrath. You can actually still be easy for him. There might be some things he wants to do that may be unbiblical, that you cannot do. But many of the things he may want you to do are not a choice of right and wrong. You can accommodate him. You can please him. You can show him honor. You can show him reverence. In fact, 1 Peter 3 says your testimony will win him one day. 1 Peter chapter 3 says that a woman who acts towards her husband in this way, without her words, can win him. And this is very, very powerful, that as I can find this here, it says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may, without the word, be won by the conversation or the lifestyle of the wife. So your words are not so important. Your actions are important. How you follow him in every way that you can. And your children will also see. You say, well, they will look at my husband and they will become like him. Well, actually, if you honor him, they will become like you.
Yes.
They will know who is right and who is wrong. The problem is your husband is acting a wrong way, and so you act a wrong way back to him, and then the children are becoming like you.
And that will not solve it.
It will not solve the problem.
So many husbands have grown up in such backgrounds where there is revenge. Husband and wife are not in love, so they fail to give love because they did not receive love. So as a mother, when you obey your husband, now I always tell these women that submission to your husband, we don't do it because the husband deserves it.
Yeah.
But because we honor God.
Yes.
And so when you submit your husband, even it makes God work because you are obedient to his word. And so,
as you take this path as a woman, you say, well, then I'm just the one who's giving everything. He's just getting everything. He's not giving. This is not God's plan. As you take those steps of faith, it will come back to you. You see, in this passage in 1 Peter, tells us about husbands. Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them, your wife, according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life. We say, well, the wife is supposed to honor the husband. True. But this verse says the husband honors the wife. So you say the wife is supposed to submit to the husband. True. But we are all to submit to one another. The husband will submit to the wife. She has so many insights, so much knowledge that he will take into his soul and be glad to follow your wisdom, your counsel. But you see, you're in it together. You're not adversaries in marriage. You are companions. The Bible says the wife is the helper for the husband. If you're a good helper, your husband will want your advice. Wow. If you're a good helper, your husband will want what you have to give. We are not just, trying to get, this isn't a competition. No. This isn't a battle. Yes. This is a partnership designed by God to be the greatest blessing in life you will ever know. Wow. But we're not perfect. So we must forgive one another. We must be faithful to one another, and God will change our lives as we're together. And guess who will be the great blessing, the benefit of it? Your children, the next generation. Wow. They will know God. They will be strong because you made the choice to follow God's way.
Wow, thank you so much. So he's saying that if there is a problem in your marriage, first ask yourself, what is my part? Every time we see a problem or in a relationship, in marriage, we have always contributed. When you see this finger pointing at this person, the remaining are pointing at you because you are also part of the problem. You can't change your partner, you can't do anything, but you can influence them to do what is right by your conversation. So thank you so much, Pastor Mark.